So far we have talked about Sundial Growers mainly in terms of short-term movements and expected forecasts. But what about my personal long-term vision and my personal long-term target and prediction? Behind the trade here, welcome back to my channel. If you enjoyed this video and the other videos, as usual, I would really appreciate if you could subscribe by clicking the button at the bottom right part of the screen. As usual, this video is based on a pure 100% technical analysis. And as usual, let me do a very quick disclaimer. I'm not financial advisor and these are just personal opinion and thoughts, and these are not financial advices, okay? So do your own due diligence and study before evaluating entry and exit points. So in order for me to look into a long-term prediction, I would honestly start from a weekly chart. I would not consider now short-term movements. I would not consider 4 hours, 1 hour, or daily charts. Okay, so let's look at the weekly chart. And you will see at the end of the video that I would like also to compare the performance of Sundial Growers with the MJ ETF, as also look at the Tilray price action, just to see if there are some similarities, especially in the weekly and monthly chart. And we will see a very interesting thing that is pretty promising to me. So let's start from the weekly chart on just Sundial Growers. What we see here, keeping the putting the RSI aside for a moment, is that the price has been moving inside, as I said several times, this big falling wedge, okay, with this smooth movement. Now the first thing that we notice is that, guys, look at what happened at volumes during these recent movements of 2021. Okay, so we can see from the volumes that every time the price spiked, like here, like here, like here, okay, the volumes were extremely high and very interesting. We can see here, we can see here, and we can see also here. So the first thing to notice is that anytime the price made a dip, the volumes decreased, and we can see here. Every time the price made a spike, the volumes increased. Again, another retracement, very smooth, and again another smooth decrease in volumes, and then another spike with high volumes, and then another decrease in volumes. Now, so look at this moment. This movement is very regular, okay, in the weekly chart. So what's happening now? We are approaching, in my opinion, and again, this is my personal view, this is not the truth, okay, because nobody has a crystal ball here. So we just need to make sure that we have a kind of statistical advantage for us to not drive blindfolded, okay? So we are approaching the apex of this big falling wedge, and the apex of this falling wedge would be the middle of March, and it would be here. So in order for the price to respect the smooth movement that it did in the past, like spike retracement, spike retracement, spike retracement, I would expect in the next week another small upward leg, or let's call it spike, as we wish. And I would expect another movement to touch this descending trend line in red here, in order for us to have another touch, okay? And when this will happen, it's highly probable that the volumes might have another spike like it happened in the past. So I would expect a movement to touch this trend line here in the next weeks, ideally before March 15th, with interesting volumes, okay? This is the very first consideration. So I would say that before the mid of March, I would expect the price to break the $0.70, I'm sorry. Are we reaching the $1 before February the 7th, which is, if I'm not wrong, the deadline for the Nasdaq compliance? No, I don't think so, but we will be having additional days. So also Zach George, during his latest earnings review, reported that we should not worry, because in case this is not met by February the 7th, there will be additional 180 days, if I'm not wrong, to achieve the compliance with Nasdaq, okay? But I think that by February 7th, we will not be able to reach the dollar. This is my very personal opinion. If we do, much better. But it would be slower, I think. So, again, my personal long-term target. What should we expect? So, first of all, let's say that if we are going to break this wedge, first of all, let me remove a little bit of all these drawings, okay, to make the chart clean. So let's remove this and this, as also here the volumes. So if we are able, guys, to break this descending wedge, the things become interesting, because our target would be, let's take the height of the wedge, as we know, and let's project it to the place, to the point where the breakout might occur. So if the breakout will occur on February 14th, let's say, in the weekly chart, our target would be approximately around 150. Okay, 150 is the result of taking the height of the wedge and projecting it here. Okay, which might make sense, because if we take an horizontal line to determine what the next resistance would be, we will see that the next interesting resistance would be in the area around, let's say, between 148 to, in total, 169. So all this area here that I'm doing now with this yellow rectangular here, this is a strong area of resistance, and it's not casual that the price target for this wedge will be exactly this area here. So this is my medium long term. Let's say for 2022, I would be very happy if we could reach 150. This is my 2022 expectation. If we're able to make much more, that's even better, okay? But for the moment, I would be very happy about that. Now, I want to share one thing, and let me clean up the chart. Let me split the screen in 3, okay? So what you see here, and let me go to the monthly chart. So in the first chart here, you'll see Sundial Growers. In the middle, you'll see Tilray. And on the right, you'll see the MJ ETF. So cannabis, marijuana main ETF, okay? So I want you to focus and to look at the monthly candle that is being created now. So don't look at Sundial Growers now. Let's look at Tilray and MJ. This is the candle that we are creating now. It's a doji in Tilray. It's a doji on MJ. It's true that the month has not finished yet, but I have to tell you that in case we will be able to finish the month even flat compared to current prices, we might obtain a candle which is a doji possible inversion candle on the MJ ETF on Tilray. Sundial will probably be similar. It's not exactly the same candle, as you can see here, is a bit different. But to me, Tilray and especially MJ are a good benchmark of what might happen to the price in terms of monthly movements. If we have this doji here, which is a candle which is indicating that the market is not sure about the direction that it has to take, that is making a pause, okay, and the same for Tilray, because we know that Sundial Growers follows pretty well these two other assets, we can easy with, let's say, being pretty comfortable that Sundial might also see a moment of doubt, okay, and this might be a point of reversal for us. So I would be very happy, to be honest, and this sounds a little bit weird, I would be very honest if we could finish the month of January at these prices, keeping this monthly candle in the MJ ETF, in the Tilray stock, and also in Sundial Growers, because then I would really expect the price to take an upward direction after this doji candle. And as you can see here in the three charts, let's make it clearer. All the monthly candles that have been positive, so red, just to use a very easy term, okay? Green, just to use a very easy term. All the green candles have been interesting high volumes. So the month, in the moment that we will be having a big red, big green, candle, this would be a high volume month, and this would be ideally a high volume reversal month. Okay, so when look at Sundial Growers, don't forget to look also at the MJ ETF and look as also how Tilray is moving. So for me, again, 150 is the target for 2022. If we can go higher, much better, much better. But in my opinion, I think that for Sundial Growers, the price will not ideally go lower than the lows of 2021, in my opinion. So good luck to everybody. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please subscribe, because new videos will be released soon. And have a great rest of the week. Bye guys.